The chicken and the egg are history. An even more important query has been staring Gabby Barrett in the face: the album or the baby comes first? By pure chance, the platinum-selling musician's third kid is due on Friday, just days after her eagerly awaited second album, Chapter and Verse, was released. Though the album seems to have taken precedence over the baby's arrival, no shocking information has been released by the Barrett camp as of yet. The 23-year-old singer isn't afraid to rank which one is more significant to her. She grins and says, "I would have to put the baby over the album." Barrett and her spouse, Cade Ferner, are excited to be welcoming a second girl. They already have a 3-year-old daughter named Bela and a 15-month-old son named Augustine. Though the pair prioritizes their family, the soon-to-be mother of 3 brightens when she remarks that the record and the baby are both exciting releases, to be sure. Barrett has good reason for the record to seem a little bit like a fourth child. The 14 tracks of the project are jam-packed with songs that reflect her life and the things that she values most in it: marriage, family, faith, and love. It's a long way from I Hope, the now iconic revenge song that began her career, in a relatively short amount of time. At the age of 18, Barrett co-wrote it, motivated by a real-life high school breakup. She claims there's no longer a temptation to go back to that subject, though. "I sincerely hope not," she chuckles. "I honestly don't get into subjects that don't make sense for me right now in my life. Some folks will do that if they're merely talking stories. However, I'm currently really focusing on what's going on around me and what I can relate to." She never runs out of ideas. The opening hit, Glory Days, a Barrett co-write that celebrates the straightforward pleasures of having a family, has already won over fans. 2 more co-writes, The Chapter and Growin' Up Raising You, are heart-tuggers with an emotional depth that complements her extraordinary voice. She is continuing to dig this rich vein of material. Her upbeat song Growin' Up is a musical ode to her firstborn as well as to herself. "We'll make mistakes, we're going to cry a lot together. You'll learn to run and I'll learn to let go. The years will fly by, but the nights will drag on. Heaven knows, raising you will be the best thing I've ever done." The Chapter, which serves as both the album's front bookend and part of its title, is a powerful beat that perfectly captures her current way of life. "I'm not a child, but I'm also not fully grown. I'm creating a mess, but I'm creating a home. I'm burning the biscuits and blazing the trails. God still hears my prayers for assistance." Barrett's deep faith flows naturally throughout the album. It starts with the title, of course, and is most prominently displayed in the back bookend, the verse. Barrett is joined by Christian musician Phil Wickham on the somber, respectful track, which is the customary doxology of the Christian church. A nostalgic look back at Barrett's early years, Had It All, and a fun date-night song, Off the Highway, are 2 other highlights. Barrett also sings Cowboy Back and You're My Texas, 2 catchy odes to her lanky home-on-the-range spouse. One of the 2 striking names in the album's credits is Miranda Lambert, with whom she co-wrote the latter. Luke Combs, a co-writer of Dance Like No One's Watching, is the other. Barrett claims that when Combs texted her unexpectedly with a song pitch, she was truly taking a relaxing bath in her bathtub. She clarifies that although the 2 had met through industry events, she can't say they are friends. "We are not comparable to going fishing together." Combs' wife Nicole wrote the lovely tale ballad about a father and daughter shortly after she became pregnant with their first child. Barrett claims that, after learning they were expecting a boy, Combs decided he could no longer sing the song. Barrett was delighted to get it, and she convinced Combs to record a harmony track for the album. She is now wishing for the chance to perform a live duet at some point. Barrett is going to have to wait until that day, though, as she starts her maternity leave. She states that she won't be going on tour again until later in the summer. Naturally, her spouse, who plays lead guitar in her band, as well as their kids, will accompany her. Barrett takes pleasure in being a hands-on mother, but when both parents are performing, a nanny helps out. She believes that she dedicates considerably more than half of her time to her family, and she is content with this arrangement. The mother states that her children have helped her realize that her family and being a mother come first, above all else. "If I could choose just one item, that's what I would genuinely be content with." Fortunately, she doesn't have to for her fans. She attributes her ability to appreciate her family and work to the teachings of God's Word. She states, "That's really what gives me energy as a person and what I look to, trust, and refresh my mind with." She maintains that she doesn't have to give up one of her roles for the other. "I'm making a sincere effort to set priorities and dedicate X amount of time to family and X amount of time to music," she states. "And I think we're in a really good balance right now." Barrett adds that as her daughter Bella gets older, she's starting to have experiences when her two worlds collide. The pleased mother remarks, "She really understands work and music, and she loves going on stage for sound checks. She especially enjoys Pick Me Up and Glory Days, and she constantly requests that those songs be played." Recently, Glory Days started playing on the mall's sound system when the two were out shopping. Barrett describes Bella's question, "That mama singing?" Barrett remarks, "And I was like, yeah, that is," in amazement at the coincidence. "You're acting so normally, and then at a mall, you hear yourself." She claims that when she was a small child, she had truly dreamed about herself during that particular occasion.